What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're breaking down the weekly reset for Destiny 2 this coming Tuesday, June 27th. And so we're going into week 6 of Season of the Deep, and this week we can continue on with our giant long-winded fishing expedition. That's the one tied to a new exotic quest this season, so we'll cover what we're able to do there. Yes, it's an absolute joy catching exotic fish. But also this week, the season content continues to roll out, and we should see the final steps for the major season story quest, so that could be pretty interesting. And on top of that, we'll get new weekly challenges which run alongside it, and in the video we'll also cover the weekly Nightfall, featured activities, playlist modes, rewards, and the raid challenges, with pretty much everything worth knowing about what's happening in the game this week. And so as always, I hope you find the video useful today, but first up guys, today's video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most expansive and comprehensive vehicle combat game around, which is available to play on PC, Xbox Series X, Series S, and PlayStation 5. War Thunder features over 2,000 different vehicles, including planes, helicopters, tanks, and ships, which we can take into dynamic PvP battles with combined arms-style gameplay. And all of these epic vehicles are highly detailed and super accurate models of their real-world versions, right down to the individual components for ultimate immersion. War Thunder features various modes to suit both more intense action-packed gameplay, or more realistic and tactical PvP battles which immerse us in over 100 years of vehicle hardware, with highly realistic vehicle damage and incredible graphics, especially running at 4K. As you guys can see, the game looks absolutely awesome. One of my favorite things about the game is that vehicles come with in-depth customization, with hundreds of camos, 3D visual upgrades, and bonus equipment which allow us to upgrade our armory to fit our playstyles. And so I totally recommend that you guys check out the game on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox using the link down below. And additionally, new players who register on PC will get a huge free bonus pack by using my link, and that grants a premium account with a bunch of the best vehicles, boosters, and much more. So don't miss out on it guys, the details are down below, and thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring the video. Now though, let's get into the Destiny content for the week, and we should see a new fishing rally location, which is expected as part of the ongoing exotic quest in the game right now. And so last week we had access to the Whispering Mothcarp exotic fish on Savathun's throne world, and that's the first of 3 exotic fish which reward blades required to unlock a hidden encounter in the deep dive activity, which ultimately gives us access to a new exotic weapon. And so moving to this week, as far as we understand it, the fishing rally should change location, and we'll be able to catch the second of 3 exotic fish to progress on the quest. And then next week we'll be able to get the final exotic fish and work on finishing that exotic quest. So be sure to make progress on the quest this week if you want to get access to it. And if you want more info on how the quest works in general, I'll link my recent video down below covering everything related to it. Yes, of course, the exotic drop rates for fish are pretty terrible, so we should be ready for a good long stint at the pond if we want to get this done. But as always, I'll be sure to keep you posted on the progress here as well. Up next though, also coming from the helm this week, we should get the final steps for the Into the Depths quest. So this is the main kind of season story quest. So I suppose we're expecting a finale of sorts this week. So as always, I'll keep you posted, and it could potentially be an interesting one. That takes us to the weekly challenges for the week though, and initially we've got Into the Depths 6 to finish the story quest for the week. Then there's Frontline Salvager to open chests in deep dive activities, and redeeming deep dive keys will grant bonus progress, but additionally we need to defeat targets with void damage anywhere in the system, and Guardians will grant increased progress. On top of that, there's Under Pressure to successfully complete a pressure trial encounter at any depth of deep dive, and additionally we need to defeat bosses and mini bosses in deep dive activities. On top of that, we have Go Big or Go Home to catch large or bigger fish at any pond, and fish core must be at least 18 kg to be considered large. It just seems so strange that Destiny has fishing now. There's also Round and Round We Go to generate orbs of power in Vanguard, Gambit, or Crucible playlists. Then, at the deep end, to defeat opponents in Crucible with auto rifles, hand cannons, scout rifles, glaives, or linear fusion rifles. And we'll see additional progress granted for landing final blows with glaives, linears, and hand cannons that use special ammo. But our final challenges include Boss Battle to defeat bosses in Strikes or Vanguard playlists, and finally, absolutely stunning, to stun 50 champions. Next though, for Crucible, Zone Control and Team Scorch will be featured this week. Interestingly, it's another week where Bungie haven't listed a reputation bonus, so the assumption is that there won't be one this week. And moving over to the Vanguard, the featured Nightfall for this week will be PsyOps Battleground The Moon, which should be an interesting one as a Nightfall. It's been quite a while since I've played that. And the featured weapon will be the Braytech Osprey, which of course is a newly updated weapon for this season. So let us know if you're still going after any rolls on that thing. We will of course also get the reset for the Ghosts of the Deep dungeon, so good luck if you're still trying to grab any of the loot or the exotic weapon. And as always, we should also mention that Hawthorne's quest will refresh for the red borders in the Last Wish raid. If you're jumping into the Root of Nightmares though, the challenge this week will be Crossfire, and so Acacia's Dejection, the trace rifle, should be the featured weapon. But for the featured raid and dungeon, this week we'll see King's Fall, and in Eternity we'll also get the Grasp of Avarice featured, and as always, both of these activities will drop their unique items with updated power relevancy for the week. There will also be the refresh for the Eververse store, which still is buggy in the game, surprisingly enough. But as always, I'll have to keep you posted with the full inventory for the week with the vendor reset on Tuesday. Our final couple of mentions though include the Lost Sectors initially, so for Tuesday's reset, we're going to see K1 Logistics dropping exotic gauntlets. Then for June 28th, we'll get K1 Communion dropping exotic chest pieces. That's followed by Sepulture on June 29th dropping exotic helmets. And for June 30th, we'll see Extraction dropping exotic legs. Then we'll get Aphelion's Rest in the Dreaming City dropping exotic arms on July 1st, which is followed by Chamber of Starlight on July 2nd dropping exotic chest pieces. And finally, for the 3rd of July, we'll see Bay of Drowned Wishes, which will be dropping exotic helmets. But if it's the Dares of Eternity loot pool you're after, the additional world drops added to the loot pool for this week will be the Rotation 2 drops, so that includes the Scatterhorn armor set, as well as the Prefectus armor set from back in Season of the Chosen. And we'll get a bunch of featured world drops from Season of the Chosen, as well as Season of the Worthy. But very finally, if you're completing the Ascendant Challenge in the Dreaming City this week, we'll see the Sumerian Garrison, which is featured in the Chamber of Starlight in Ria Silvia, so that'll be the Ascendant Challenge location, but if you want to see where it is, I'll run some footage showing it off at the end of the video. And otherwise, for today guys, that is everything we have to speak about in the weekly reset. So as always, I hope the video has been useful today, and if it has, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. I should also say thanks again to today's sponsor, War Thunder. If you like awesome vehicle combat with thousands of vehicles in huge tactical PvP battles, then be sure to download the game today on PC, Xbox or PlayStation by following the link below, and that'll unlock a premium pack when you register on PC with loads of bonus rewards, so be sure to check that out in the description box below. On top of that though, if you want to be kept up to date with Destiny content, feel free to get subscribed and I will keep you posted. But otherwise, I appreciate you guys tuning in as always, and whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.